Hey there, beginning farmer friends. It is 5:43 and it is the first time that I've turned the camera on today. I've done things. I took down some fence that we weren't using in our rotational grazing line anymore. I've done chores a couple times. I went to town and worked, but I just didn't turn the camera on for anything. What I want to do as I kind of close out the day today though, is I just want to talk. Now, this might come as a surprise to you, or probably not a surprise to any of you if you followed along with the beginning farmer from the blog to the podcast to the videos. I am a talker. If you go all the way back to my elementary days, I was getting in trouble all the time for talking in class. Not being mean or mean-spirited, but just talking, chatting all the time. And that's kind of what I want to do right now, is I want to chat and I want to talk about the lean farm. I've got the book right here. Let me give you a little bit of background on my farming experience if you haven't followed along for very long. I don't have a lot of farming experience, and so when I started this farm, basically what I did was cast this huge net out into the ocean, hoping that it would bring back something that was successful on the farm. And I did that by collecting a lot of things and jumping into a lot of projects and enterprises and things like that, but never perfecting anything or never doing anything the best way that it could be done or doing anything really, really well. And now that we're 10 or 12 years in, I'm still fighting that battle of those problems that I created early on in my farm. That's kind of where I am at now, as I am really honing in on this lean farm process. With that being said, let me tell you what I think lean farming isn't and what I think lean farming is. What it is not is this minimalist system, this idea that you do everything with very little of anything, you know, like the Apple Store model where you have wood tables and white walls and nothing else. I don't think that's what it is, or I don't think it's a shoestring farming or anything like that. What I think lean farming is a system that is about efficiency. It is about, you know, efficient and good production that meets the needs of your consumers and your customers and the sustainability of your farm or your factory or your life or whatever it is. It literally means for me, like going through the scrap pile of my life, which this is back here, a scrap pile of the farm stuff that has died over the 12 years that I've been on the farm, and sorting through that and bringing it into efficiency. Having this trailer here adds nothing to my farm efficiency wise, and the stuff that is in there is actually stuff that probably took away from the efficiency of my farm. So as I've been studying this lean farm system and rereading the book and kind of figuring out what it means for me and how I want to apply it or how I'm able to apply it, I'm really stuck on the first 5 S's of the lean system. Now these are Japanese words. I have no idea how to say them in Japanese, so I'll just give them to you in English. Those 5 S's are sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. And as I start reading through the first chapter of the lean farming book where it talks about those 5 S's, which again, Japanese words which I can't say, the English ones I can say, I think, man, I'm going to be on that one for a long time, because my farm is not sorted, it is not set in order, it is not shined, it is not standardized, it is not sustained. I need to get there. And so that's why I'm all in on this lean farming thing, because I think it will take our farm from, you know, here up to way beyond the camera's view. So that first S is sort, which is kind of what I've been trying to do here. I love the way Ben Hartman puts it in his book, The Lean Farm. He says the first step is to ruthlessly eliminate anything that is not absolutely necessary for your production system. When in doubt, get rid of that. That sounds like some great advice, and to be completely honest, it's got me thinking about what I've been doing here. I've been trying to ruthlessly get rid of things. I've filled up 3 garbage cans in sorting through here, and there's a lot more that's going to get thrown away. Trust me, I just really honestly ran out of garbage space for it. But it got me thinking about these totes. In the last video, you saw me sort through all these and come up with an entire big toolbox full of T-post fence insulators. That's not something I use a lot. I don't use T-posts a lot on our farm because honestly, they're not very efficient. If a wire comes off of a T-post, that means it's grounded out. I like to use my step-in post, my plastic step-in post, or we use a composite post for the perimeter of our fence. Honestly, those work best for us. So should I get rid of a box full of T-post insulators? You know, maybe something that I will use again, but it could be 2 years. Is that ruthless, or do I stick it up on the shelf high and keep it for when I need it? That's good stuff to think about when it comes to sorting. I really need to sort ruthlessly because that helps with the efficiency of the farm, and it doesn't just go on in the farm. You know, as I was thinking about that and sorting ruthlessly and how that applies to the efficiency and all of the farm, the same thing can be said with the livestock on the farm too. You've heard me talk before, if you've watched the videos before, if you've listened to the podcast, about how I want to just totally rechange or redo our sheep flock. And part of that is that ruthless sorting to get the right animals that do the job efficiently for us. So sort. That's the first thing that we're doing on our farm. Sorting, sorting, sorting. The second S is set in order, which means after we have been ruthless about sorting, I need to start setting everything in order, putting it in its place. I love how they talk about it in the book. He says a tool should really have one of two places to be, either in your hand when you're using it, or at your job site wherever you're working, or in the spot where it's stored. That's why I really want to get that shed done. That's why I talked about the wagon train idea for our chicken wagon, so that all those tools went with it and they were right there where we needed them when we needed them. That is really huge, I think, for the efficiency of our farm. And that's why I say it's not necessarily about getting rid of everything and having this minimalist farm. It's about putting everything where it needs to be so we can be most efficient on our farm, whether it's moving animals across the pasture, making feed, or doing construction projects. If we know where it goes and where it is, then we can get stuff done. That was the problem that I find myself having the most, is that I have things, but I don't know where they are, and so I can't use them, and so I'm not efficient, and I spend a lot of time and money on things that I shouldn't spend the time and money on. So sort and then set in order. The third S is shine, and I'll be completely honest with you, that's one that I'm gonna have to work on. Right now, ruthlessly sorting, I have no problem with that. I don't use it, throw it in the trash. I haven't used it in a while, throw it in the trash. I don't like the looks of it, throw it in the trash, get rid of it. Whatever it is. But when it comes to shining and making everything spotless, it doesn't have to be spotless, but clean and everything in its place and keeping it that way, I'm gonna have to be very intentional about it. But I can see how that helps your efficiency. It is a lot easier to get a project done when you come into a clean area to work on it, or it is a lot easier to move the chickens when everything is where it needs to be and you can just move it there. Or in the case of this fence right behind me, it's a lot easier to put up the fence if it's shined. And I think in the case of the fence like this, it means that I have fence posts, step-in posts that aren't broken, that I can just walk along the line and step them in, that they have the hooks where they need to have the hooks for my line, where my reels are working, all of that good stuff. I see that as part of the shine, not just a clean shop area, but out on the pasture too. Another area where I see that shine really coming into effect is just people coming to the farm. It is amazing when people can come to the farm and they see a shiny farm. It really helps build the community that we want to build on our farm. I don't know if you can see the sun behind me, but it is crazy hazy. It boggles my mind that we are halfway across the country, literally, and we're getting the effects of the smoke for those of you out on the West Coast. So if you're on the West Coast, let me tell you, you are in our prayers for sure. That it just is mind-boggling. The haze that we have, I can't even imagine how it compares to what you guys are experiencing. S number 4 is standardize, and what that means is that you just have a set way that you always do things, whether it's grind feed or work on repairs or do something in the shop or put the tractor away, whatever it is, you always do it the same way. And when you always do it the same way with a simple plan, these pigs are sneaking up on me. A simple plan and a simple pattern. Have you ever heard of the cow with the crumpled horn? That pig right there, that was the pig with the crumpled ear. Hey, don't knock my stand down. Where was I? Standardize. The idea is that if you have a standardized plan that is simple and repeatable, that's a tough word for me to say, then it's easier to keep things sorted and keep things set in order and keep things shined, those first 3 S's. And I think this is going to be a great one for us, especially as we move forward, that no matter who in the family goes out to do a job, whether it's grind feed or unload hay bales or, get the mower ready to go mow hay, which is something I need to do tomorrow, it will be done in the same way every time with the same efficiency and the same outcome. Even if it's something like repairs, to have a standardized way or a standardized place where you can go do it, that is going to be absolutely huge. Pigs everywhere. The 5th S is sustain, and that one really rings true for our farm because we want to be a sustainable farm, a farm I'm out here in the tall grass with the cows. A farm that is sustainable emotionally and spiritually and physically and ecologically and just all of the ways that it can be sustainable. We want our farm to be sustainable. And to be sustainable, we have to put in practices that we can sustain for years and years and years to come. And I'll be completely honest, what we have right now isn't very sustainable. So I think that these S's, the beginning pieces of the lean farm system and the lean system in general, is a good direction for us to go. I think it's a thing that I need to learn and apply and then sustain. So that's the very beginning of the lean farm system. Like I said multiple times in this video, I am not an expert of anything, let alone the lean farm system. I've just got the book. You can get the book. I'll try to put a link down below in the show notes or the description or whatever you call that on YouTube so that you can go check it out yourself. It may or may not be an affiliate subscription. I don't know, we'll see. But I'll put it down there so you can kind of follow along if you want. I love the way that he ends, that he being Ben Hartman ends this first chapter. He says, in summary, 5S cleans out a farm's arteries. And that is huge for me. He says it sets the stage for production. Once daunting, cleaning tasks become manageable. A chaotic room in the barn strewn with old chicken waters. My shed has old chicken waters in it. This kind of hit close to home. Broken hoses. Those were in there too. And dusty feed sacks. Yep, I had all of that in my shed. Might have looked overwhelming before we knew of 5S, and now you can do it. I just want to encourage you guys to come along for the ride with me. This is literally a beginning farmer's look and attack on the lean farm, not attack on. This is literally a beginning farmer's look and implementation of the lean farm system with no background in lean systems or lean farming or the Toyota method or whatever you want to call it. I just want to encourage you guys to come along for the ride. If you've got questions, put them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer. If you've got answers for me because you say, Ethan, you don't get it. You're right, I don't get it. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for coming along this ride with me. I hope that there will be a little bit of encouragement for you, or at least an opportunity for you to educate someone, me, along the way. You guys have a great day.